Putin threatened with severe consequences if nuclear weapons deployed in Ukraine. The foreign secretary has insisted that the Russian leader was making increasingly wild statements to distract from his failing efforts to take Ukraine. Vladimir Putin will face severe consequences if Moscow deploys nuclear weapons in Ukraine, Foreign Secretary James Cleverly told the Commons. He also accused Russia's president of exacting vengeance by targeting essential infrastructure such as power stations and pulling out a grain export deal. The deal, brokered by the UN, fell apart last week when Putin refused to ensure Ukraine's grain supply due to his claims that the Navy helped Kyiv carry out a drone attack in the Black Sea. Mr. Cleverly addressed the Commons with a powerful statement expressing the UK's continued support for President Zelensky and his forces. He said, "The House will have noted Putin's irresponsible talk about nuclear weapons, an absurd claim that Ukraine plans to detonate a radiological dirty bomb on its own territory. He should be clear that for the UK and our allies, any use at all of nuclear weapons would fundamentally change the nature of this conflict. There would be severe consequences for Russia." Mr. Cleverly called on the Kremlin to allow grain exports, drawing attention to the damaging impacts felt around the world. Putin is exacting vengeance for his military failures on the civilians of Ukraine by cutting off their power and water supply, and on the poorest people in the world by threatening their food supplies. Over 60% of the wheat exported under the Black Sea Grain Initiative has gone to low- and middle-income countries, including Ethiopia, Yemen, and Afghanistan. It would be unconscionable for those lands to be made to suffer because of Putin's setbacks on the battlefield in Ukraine. Putin has been accused of making increasingly desperate statements as his armies continue to struggle to make progress in their invasion. Last month, Russia's defense ministry blamed the Royal Navy for the explosions in the Nord Stream gas pipeline, a story the Ministry of Defense say was invented.